up, everybody? Welcome to another. This is my guy Tafari. You already know what it is. Today we are. Oh man, torturing my. Today we are talking. Um, I gotta be honest. I wasn't as excited for this live action as I was for some of the other ones. Only because opinions differ. I know it's because Disney has so many Disney movies and so much variety. As a kid, was my favorite Disney movie, by far my favorite.
Right,
I
that
don't
that
know
was
about you,
a
Tafari.
must take home on VHS automatically, even if you had to tape over it on TV and take it home like some of us did.
Right? No, it was the for me. You know, as we got older, we watched some of the Disney movies maybe 100 times over our lives, depending on like which one was our favorite and whatnot, or just like a bunch of them. For me, I watched The Lion King like 200 times as a kid. I was that into like the story, even though I didn't learn till like years later. It was technically like Shakespeare and the story of Macbeth. But that was my movie. That was my favorite Disney movie. I argue with people about this. This has always been number one to me. So when I heard they were going to do the live action, I was a bit hesitant at
I said,
first
do we count
before
it as
they
live
before they
action
named
since
the
it's
cast and
CGI?
everything.
That's argument been floating around.
That when I heard people when I saw the teaser for it and I saw it was CGI and people started complaining about the fact that it was CGI, I was one of those people that seriously thought, did you actually think they were going to train live animals
Yeah,
for this? No, they can't do that. You have a zebra standing next to a gazelle, standing next to an elephant, standing next to some birds. They're just lucky the only predator happened to be the king of the jungle, all peaceful and up on his perch and whatnot.
exactly. People need to lower their expectations in the sense of they're over analyzing things too much these days. Although that's what we do on this
Yeah,
page,
exactly.
so
But I'll tell you what, the one thing I did get excited about when they started naming the
yeah, the cast
cast,
was
like
fantastic.
who,
Like that's part of what made me go see the
yeah,
movie.
hmm like when I heard Donald Glover was gonna be like adult Simba, I was like, okay, I can get with that. And then Seth Rogen, Pumbaa, Billy Eichner, Timon, and and I can never say his name. Chi Whitel Ojafor, I think his name is. He was Scar. The one thing that I was very, very, very happy about is how to me, you can't find anybody else to play Mufasa other
James
than
Earl
James
Jones,
Earl
exactly.
Jones.
You can't get anyone to play Mufasa. Can't get anyone to play Darth Vader.
You can't get nobody else.
Yeah, so bringing him
Nobody
back
else.
was the smartest move they could have made. Although I wish for since we took a different route with the hyenas, I like that they gave like
Mm-hmm.
Shenzi since she was always kind of like the leader, of the little three. I kind of wish we would have got Whoopi Goldberg back, but her character I forget her name, but Eric Andre and Keegan Michael Key was hilarious.
Yeah, that combination was really good. You could, I didn't even know that Keegan Michael Key was one of the hyenas. I could his voice because he's been having quite a year. He's in this. He's in some new fighter movie with John Cena. He was in the new Predator movie. On top of like just all his fame from Key and Peele, which is
Yeah, he
like
was in Toy
insane.
Story too, wasn't he? Him and Key and Peele.
He was in Toy Story 4 with
Yeah,
Peele.
they were
Yeah,
there with
that's
the
right.
dolls.
So like not so secret, but secret. Keegan Michael Key is having a hell of a year. Like he's in all these. Granted, he's not the star, but he's the comedic relief. That's what he's doing now. But it's just a step up for him. Shout out to him. He's doing really well. And then Eric Andre, bro, I thought that whole chemistry between them
Yeah,
two
their characters were
was
hilarious.
hilarious. Yo, give me some personal space. Give me
That is a fine
some personal
distance.
space.
Thank you.
Oh man, my favorite part of that whole duo was they're laying around. Is right before Scar comes, and they're just laying around. He lays on top of him one side, and he's like, "Really? You got? I need some space, man." He gets up, literally goes around, and just plops stuff on him on the other side. Are you kidding?
Yeah. I,
I, I,
I liked a little bit of the
I could not stop
yeah,
laughing.
I liked a little bit of the lore building. I didn't realize that or maybe I misread. I didn't realize Scar actually came from like challenging Mufasa when they were like younger apparently. I feel like maybe that I didn't catch that as a kid.
Yeah, they seem to they definitely seem to change the story up a little bit. At least maybe put into some more detail than I remember. Because I don't remember him challenging Mufasa when they were younger. You know,
Yeah, I mean they
but
didn't directly say it, but they
I'll
kind
tell
of
you,
made a
man.
nod to it, which I was like, is that how his face got like that? Because we never really got an explanation.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. This is exactly my my mind works with like how if I see something and I recognize it before, I can watch the movie, but I'm thinking about where I recognize the scene from, right?
All right.
So the whole movie, I'm watching it like scene by scene, and I'm remembering in my head all the animated scenes of it.
Yeah.
Like almost like a side by side piece almost in like my own head. That's how I was watching because all this is like, oh my god, I'm like 6 years old again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to say the one scene I did like I know they couldn't recreate like everything like shot for shot. So when they did the I just can't wait to be king, I knew they were gonna have like all the animals standing on top of each other. But the way they
Like stacked up,
yeah, but the
yeah,
way they shifted it around was like a nice touch. Only scene that they changed that
yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll take that as like a difference was when they had to do the
Uh-huh.
distraction and they didn't do Timon and Drag. They did like a nod to Beauty and the Beast and then just cut it off midway.
Yeah, man. No, the you could tell the little things they did change up. It's so funny that you mentioned that about the can't wait to be king because as soon as I came home, my dad asked me, "Oh, how was it? What did you think?" Blah blah blah. And he was like, "My favorite song in the movie is I Can't Wait to Be King." Did they stack the animals up like they did? I'm like, Dad, it's supposed to be real. Like elephants can't stand on top of giraffes or zebras or nothing like that. So no. And he goes, "Oh man, that would have been cool."
I said, so do we want to jump into the numbers and whatnot that you pulled up that apparently
Yeah,
this
yeah.
Disney empire has made?
I want to talk about the animated version made I think it was 968.5 million
I haven't.
with only a budget of 45. That's nuts to me.
Let me see, 906. Yeah, close to $1 billion. Whereas Frozen made 1.2 billion. Mulan, whose remake is coming, 304 million, and Little Mermaid, which is also coming, 233. So every last one of these remakes have completely destroyed their animated predecessors. And this one right now, the current one is sitting at 962 million, which is that's as of like
It's
Sunday, I think.
yeah, it's already made more money than
Yeah, so Spider-Man, Lion King, every property Disney owns on the Infinity Gauntlet is breaking the $1 billion mark.
that's with that note. I want to point out to you the picture I sent you today where Disney movies Disney announced their movies have already generated $6 billion at the box. That's just them. That's just Disney movies. Not nobody else. Not in total for everybody. Just Disney. And it's still only August. They have another 4 months to dominate because I know they got Star Wars coming out in Christmas.
I was gonna say, does that mean like just
That's gonna
does
be
that
a
mean
huge.
Disney branded movies or Disney properties? Because if so, the Endgame is like half of that.
That's what I'm saying. That when I sent you that, I was like, you realize Endgame is like just under 3 billion of that
Yeah, they're
from April.
officially numero uno and pushed Avatar to the second slot.
Yeah, we established that in the last episode if you guys saw it, but still huge congrats to Avengers Endgame. I don't think there could be a better movie that could be an Avatar, but extremely well done. But like, yo, with that announcement Disney made about the movies profiting that well, bro, I'm really starting to get afraid that Disney's gonna take over the world,
I
man.
would say they
It's
are making
the,
some executive decisions I'm not a fan of. Like they're taking a lot of the violence out of the new Star Wars game, which is ruining it for people. Like lightsabers are not allowed to dismember anymore. They can just do like a little burn damage and that's it.
well, when you're making the video game, then you can put as much violence as
It's
you
already
want.
being made by
Until
EA though, and they already get a bad reputation for putting a paywall behind everything. So
hey man,
you take a
when
least
you when,
favorite game, a good property, and then you throw a third overlord power saying, "Here's the final straw." It looks bad from our standpoint.
listen, man, I'm a gamer too. I like violence in games as um maybe a little bit more than others because I'm a huge Tarantino fan, so apparently I just like
Yeah,
violence.
don't
But
censor Cyberpunk.
um yes, that's right. But it is what it is, man. When you create your own video game, you can put as much violence as you fucking want in
This is
it.
true. But yeah, so they're taking over the world 7.6 billion and we're like it's not even August. We're halfway through the year and what else do they got
Exactly.
coming this year? I haven't even been paying attention.
Other than Star Wars, I know that that comes out I think Christmas. Um, and again, don't they control the war? Or is that not them?
Welcome
That movie franchise
Jumanji. I
with
don't think
Dwayne Rock in
Jumanji
them.
is them.
No, Jumanji's not
I
them,
don't
right?
believe
Then
so.
no. But I tell you what, man. Even if it's even if the biggest thing for them is oh wait no, they have Frozen. Frozen's coming out.
Is Frozen 2 this year or next year?
No, it's this
Yeah,
year. They promoted it last year. It's this
they
year.
are a powerhouse right now. They are not to be reckoned with.
But you know what the biggest thing of all it is, right? Because they bought Marvel and Star
Yeah.
Wars.
So Disney Plus is about to be rocking in a few months.
Yeah, man. I honestly, oh man, it's gonna be such a drag. Finally, goes
You
up
think so? Why?
because the main use Netflix is because all the stuff I watch, if it's not Avengers, it's Disney for me. Like just because it's like a good sleep type movie or something I've seen like a billion times, I can go to sleep on. But even just to watch it is like just that's what I
True.
watch. You know what I mean? So when all that is taken away, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's because that like
Because
I can understand that with like Disney shows and movies. Because right now I'm sleep watching comedians in cars getting coffee.
yeah, because we're thinking like um the biggest thing that are gonna leak obviously is like the Avengers, Tarzan, Hercules, Mulan, blah blah blah, and then even Credibles movies they're gonna be going because that's Disney
The
too.
Incredibles is leaving. I think Bambi. I think all like the Disney unloved sequels are on there. The Office is going to its own private.
Anything that has that Magic Kingdom castle beginning is gone.
Uh,
Anything has
the Office is officially leaving to their own third party thing.
Friends is gonna leave too in like a year or so.
Shoot me, but I've never sat down and watched like start to finish Friends. Like if it's on, I'd watch it, but I've not like when everyone else in like when it came to Netflix and everyone in my school was binging Friends, I was watching Parks and Rec. I never got the Friends hype. I never got the Friends hype. I'm sure it's
No,
there. I'm sure it's a great show. I just never sat down and gave it a chance.
when I first watched it, like throughout the season, like the season's my first time. It was extremely funny. My favorite characters are Chandler and Joey, just because like that combination is just hilarious. But if you haven't watched it, and this goes out for like anybody watching too, if you honestly haven't watched Friends, I would say just give it a go before Disney probably takes it away or whoever's taking it away. I'm not sure, but But just give it a watch. You'll enjoy yourself. And if you don't, just go back to The Office or Parks and Rec. That's all.
Yeah, Disney is a force to be reckoned with. Although, do we want to jump into the controversy lately?
I'll let you lead off with that. You did more research on that than I did.
Honestly, I didn't even
You
do much
lead off with
research.
that.
Like, this comes up at least once a year for me. Like, I've known about this for a while, and apparently it's been a
Right.
thing for like a long. So for those who don't know, in like the 1960s, there was a anime called Kimba the White Lion, and literally, if you hold it up side by side to Lion King, there's like shot for shot almost remakes just with better animation. Like the concept art for Simba was originally a white lion playing with butterflies, which you actually saw Simba doing in this movie. There was Kimba and Simba on Pride Rock with the sun shining in the background. Rafiki was drawn almost exactly the same. Pumbaa, Scar, like both movie villains had a scar on their left eye. That was apparently
They're all little subtle differences. That's all. That's all
like
it is.
if
Little
it was
subtle
subtle
differences.
one thing, but it's legit like almost copying. Like I believe the fathers in both movies die exactly the same of being thrown off a cliff.
And then and into a
Yeah, and
stampede.
then I had to look it up. Apparently, Simpsons was like woke on this first because they made a whole joke about it in like an older episode.
Man, Simpsons are whoever the writers, the creator of Simpsons is a
Yeah,
time
Simpsons is
traveler.
from the
Man,
future.
they've been able to predict so much stuff, bro.
It's scary. Yeah, there's like an episode where Lisa's talking to some ghost in the sky, and then who was it? The ghost comes up, and then Mufasa comes up, then Darth Vader shows up, and the Mufasa goes, Simba, I am your father. And it was just, I was like, okay, so I didn't pick up on this when I was like 8, but now that I'm older, I get it. So they've been accusing Disney of stealing from this dude for years, which he I believe the guy's name, if I can remember how to say it properly. His name, he created the art style that is basically using the original Astro Boy. And if you ever watch the anime Cyborg 009, he basically created that. And the
Mm-hmm.
messed up part is him and Disney like actually knew
Oh,
each other. So it feels like even more of a kind of a stab in the back for people who are like his stands, because Kimba is held to a higher. Kimba is a cult classic there, the same way Lion King is over here. So Lion King is kind of like
right.
disrespected and looked down upon. So I don't expect that movie to do well in Japan at all.
I mean, that's the way they feel. Here's my thing with the whole Kim of the White Lion thing, and I told you this, Tafari. The one thing, like, because growing up, you hear these things and you find these things out, and you're like, wow, that's actually pretty close. That's not too much of a difference, blah blah blah. And the one thing that I kept wanting to ask, or the question that I kept bringing up is, so why didn't they do something? Why didn't they sue or blah blah blah? And then you dug a little bit deeper, and you found that the creators or the people behind Kimba, how to go, they knew that they tried to make a sue or do a lawsuit against Disney, they would be bankrupt.
Basically.
So they just go ahead. No, you
Now
go.
that's
You did
basically
it.
they realize like yeah, Disney is still a corporate monster like worldwide and has way too much power, and we
That
are still just a one continent based animation company based off of one studio. We would be taking on like the gods of animation right now, and we would go bankrupt trying to do so because it would get dragged out forever. Even though like part of the controversy is I believe okay, the director Roger Allers claimed he remained unfamiliar with Kimba throughout the production until his film was nearly completed. He helped make the original Lion King, but before he came up with the idea for Lion King, he was actually living in Tokyo, Japan. And him and Tezuka had already met. Tezuka's the one who made Kimba, and he's held to like a high standard over there as like one of the gods of animation. So he had been over to Japan. He knew Tezuka. Tezuka actually knew Disney from a convention, and they actually met up before Disney died and wanted to work together. So it's suspicious that Tezuka goes or Allers goes to Japan, comes back with this idea, and then he just says, "Oh, I have no idea what they're talking about." And then Kimba apparently had its own English version that came here when most of the Lion King actors were kids. because the guy who played, I believe, young adult Simba, he told people he thought it was a slip up on like the script or whatever. He told people that he was playing Kimba for like the first 6 months. So he thought he was legit doing a Kimba the White Lion spinoff or like an Americanized version. Then when he became the Lion King, he said he was
Oh,
baffled. He said he had no idea they were doing something else.
oh, oh man.
Yeah, so
Oh, that's trouble. That's
Tezuka
just
is basically
trouble.
held to the standard of Japan's Walt Disney.
Okay.
So that man, so they felt it was given his legacy and the fact that he died early, like before they could do anything, they felt like it's a huge disrespect. So I don't see that movie going well overseas, at least in that department.
So it's already over $630 million
Yes,
worldwide. We just don't know Japan.
yeah, I don't think Disney's hurting their pockets at all, but in Japan, I don't see the
Um.
movie excelling.
So then, personally, feel situation.
I feel like
Like, would you have handled it
I
differently,
feel like
or?
I know I've known about it so long that at this point, it's one of the it's like a lot of stuff you see with actor drama in the news today, or things we've talked about on other shows in this podcast. It's like if you said something right when it happened, okay, but now it's like decades later, and here you come making a rah rah about. Like most people talking about are just like smaller news Facebook pages just trying to get clicks and views, and then people are just like, wow, they stole it. I'm like, we've known this for like a decade. Like I can't get upset about news I've known for a while. Like even with people like certain celebrities in the news, you say, "Oh, I can't believe they did this 10 years ago." I'm like, every TV show and comedy sketch show was making jokes about it. Obviously, there was some truth to it. We're just now getting upset. So, but I've heard like some of our favorite classics have done this. Like I've heard Disney has stolen many ideas that we all know and love. Robin Williams, rest in peace. I heard was like a notorious joke thief. That's like the word around like the comedy circuit. So everybody has their darkness to them.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
wow.
watching what
Well,
is it?
see.
Oh no, like I was watching Corey Holcomb's podcast. He's a comedian. He said like when he was younger,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
he was younger in the comedy game. He said people had symbols for when Robin would show up, and that means leave your best bet out of the bit because he is here. And I've heard other people doing this. So I mean,
Oh, damn.
it's word of mouth. It's not proven, but these things happen.
See, I feel the same way when it comes to the whole Kimba thing, because just like you said, when it comes to, okay, when it first came out, maybe something should have been done, but then you saw and read up for yourself that these people didn't exactly want to go through that, so that's on them. So any literally anyone else that wasn't part of anything that had to do with Kimba or the White Lion or anything like that, and they're like, "Oh, just so you know, Disney stole this from these people like so long ago." Okay, but were you there? No. We already know that the production company or the actual people didn't want to basically do anything, or they didn't have the balls to do anything. So why are you bringing it up? And then that's where it goes into, like you said, the clicks and the views and
Yeah.
the likes. Like I've seen people like I'm not gonna see Lion King. I'm gonna boycott it because they stole the theme of it from these people. Blah, blah, blah. But what's that got to do with you? The people who had a chance to do something or could have done something, they didn't do anything. They looked at it as a
Yeah, they just
compliment.
took it as imitation as
So
flattery.
so I don't want to hear as flattery. You're right. So I don't want to hear about people complaining about them anymore. That's how I feel. The same as you. Like it is what it is.
I don't know. So what are your ups and downs, goods and bads, takeaways from this film after seeing it?
Okay, I definitely got chills when with the opening of Circle of Life. I didn't. I didn't ever look at or read or do or anything like
Yeah.
that. It's because I the voice that was singing the Circle of Life, because I'm so used to hearing the other version in the anime, but it did its job. It I still got the chills when they finish on "Circle of Life" and then credit, you know.
Yeah, so
But
I
man,
learned to let this movie be its own and see what this cast of characters does. So I like that. I like that
hmm
everything paid homage perfectly, but I still had to accept that okay, it's a whole different film, whole different cast. Like I kind of like that Scar is villainous, but then you got people who are upset that like kind of like Scar, Jafar, the King, and Robin Hood. They all kind of have like this evil, like diva ish personality. But I'm
hmm
like, it's a CGI movie, so Scar can't be around like making facial expressions and flicking his wrist all the. I feel like they took Scar's personality as far as his character, and they gave it to Billy Eichner's Timon. It feels like there was a huge character swap there. Because I didn't like I felt the
um,
jokes, but he felt
I
more like a diva than like the wisecracking meerkat this time around.
yeah, no, I see what you mean, but I like that. Despite in the movies, the actual characters they're always too dumb to realize when someone is obviously evil and shouldn't be like trusted.
Exactly.
I like the fact that this score fit that persona, but of course for the movie, he's the uncle, he's the brother of the king. He's not gonna do anything, but he's just an asshole.
Yeah, like when
You
he had
know?
like whoever I forget his name, but whoever played young Simba, he nailed that shit for me, honestly. Like when he was
Yeah.
talking to Scar, he's like, "I get to
I
tell you what to do one day," and you could just like see it in his character's like or his animal character's expression, like he's just pissed that Simba's alive this whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and then when I don't remember Nala singing in "I Can't Wait to Be King" in the animated version, but I'll tell you what, the two voices behind the two kid voices behind Nala and Simba, and then them singing in "I Can't Wait to Be King." I thought that was amazing. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I like that, and then leading right up to the elephant graveyard scene, like the chase scene was done very well this time around.
hmm Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I didn't. This is one of the few things I missed before the movie. I didn't realize that John Oliver, for those of you who don't know, he owns a HBO series called Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. That's really really funny. It's
Right.
a bit political. Yeah, it's a bit political, but he's extremely funny. Hates Trump, so yeah, there you go with that. But he was funnier than I expected him to be. Like he kept doing these little one liners, these little jokes, and I'm simple. If a joke's simple enough, I'll probably laugh at it. So every little thing he was saying, every so often was like, you know what I mean? Like I thought it was good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When they were doing the pounce training, the Twitter joke got me in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that was clever. Whoever this man doing Zazu is doing the job of service. Like he's doing the good job of the annoying attendant.
Exactly. Oh man, that pound scene. All I saw was like a side by side thing of like the animated version and the movie, and all I'm thinking is like, stay low to the ground, and then sire, bow. Oh man, that scene made me laugh like crazy. Um, I'll tell you, and again, I will always stress the little things. Once again, I know they use the CGI, but they try to make the animals, as realistic as
Yeah.
possible. The little ear thing that they would do, that real animals do, they're just chilling, and all of a sudden
Oh,
they'll like move their ear because it's a annoying fly or insect or something.
right.
I saw that throughout the movie. I thought that was great. It's small, but I really thought it was like super original and like creative. These guys did not miss a single thing when it came to combining CGI and then combining what real animals do. You
They
know?
probably had to just study some for a while. Like there's some shots. It looks like it's straight out of a nature documentary. Like when the little lemurs flying up and they're eating the bugs and whatnot. after he meets Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that took some research. That took a little bit of work, but I'm really glad they did that because that to me stands out. You know, like especially when you're watching Simba, he's talking or he's walking, and then you see his ear like flicker, basically. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
does he hear something? No, that's just what animals do. And an occasional fly would be around them, you know, just like normal animals and shit. So I really extend so much credit to like the people behind the CGI and everything in the movie because as little as that seems to me, that's like okay, wow, these guys took an extra step because you never saw that in the animated version. Obviously, they're cartoons. You never saw
Yeah,
that
you
though.
can
You know what
only
I
in
mean?
2D animation you can only do so much. With this one, they were able to toy with like different angles and everything and whatnot, and like shoot it differently. Like when they were running from the hyenas the first time, and they were like stuck in like the tunnel system, and they just kept popping out of like the different holes to try and eat Simba and young Nala, and then they kept switching the shot around so that you could
I
see it. And it was
yeah
great.
yeah. I'll tell you what, John Favreau. Oh man, that man's gonna work his way into my heart of like my favorite directors. Man, he not only directed like the first Iron Man movie. I
Did he?
think no, that he directed the first Iron Man movie. I think the first two, if I'm not mistaken. He directed one of the Jungle Book remake movies, I think. And then he directed this. I'm like, bro, I swear he's gonna work his way into my heart, man. I love the way that guy directs, man. All of his movies I seem to enjoy every time.
I feel like I'm not gonna say it wasn't hard, but I feel like everyone didn't have a hard time matching energies for this movie because I feel like everyone in the cast grew up with this film and knew like it was a blessing to be a part of it. So we have Childish Gambino and Beyonce playing our adult Simba and Nala. You got Seth Rogen playing the pig or Pumbaa, which is just hilarious. And then him and Billy Eichner going back and forth all the time. So they had
Right.
it's Timon and Pumbaa doing Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner banter, which works perfectly. You have not Key and Peele, but Key and Eric Andre, who his show is like a cousin of that form of comedy. If you ever watched the Eric Andre show,
Right.
so
Who by himself Eric Andre is a comedic like like funny ass man by himself.
I never realized. Like my friend sat me to my roommate in college had me watch like the first season of his show. I didn't realize Hannibal Buress was like a regular on there, and like they do all just these
Yeah.
ridiculous news bits all the time, and then they become like
Oh
memes.
yeah, they're like really good friends.
I had no idea.
Oh man, no, I what I love about his show is that the comedy that he brings to the table is he does extremely weird, annoying, stupid shit, and then he loves to get a reaction out of the people who come on his show. And me, I love seeing that reaction. Like, damn, I don't know what I would do if that was me, man. I'd be flipping out. I mean, it's like the kind of comedy that like Jackass kind of likes to do. Like they love to see the reaction of people going, or like, what the, shit like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
But man, I didn't even realize Andre was in this, but I'm so glad him and Key hit it off so well because they really did. Okay, one scene I was really excited for was
Go for it.
obviously when Simba and Nala reunited.
Yeah, that was okay. I like that we got an extended version of
Um,
In the Jungle from like the entire jungle cast. Like they all one by one walking along the trail picked up along it, and then we just kept and then it just cuts off when she
yeah,
shows up.
yeah, dude. Because in the animated version, if anyone remembers, you see Timon and Pumbaa just going along by themselves. They're singing a the jungle, but they're by
Yeah.
themselves, and you see Nala creeping up. So, and to me, I'm not gonna lie, because I knew what the scene was. I knew what was gonna
Same.
happen, but because, like you said, everybody came together. Everybody started walking in a line and adding to the beat of the song. I was like, wait. Where's Dala? I don't see her. Where is she? When she came out, I jumped. I did a little bit. I was like, oh damn,
Yeah,
that
they
just
built
got
up the
me.
suspense
I
of her
did.
coming, which was like great because I'm like, oh, she's gonna pounce. And then when I see like, oh no, the whole cast of like this second jungle is getting or this jungle is getting in on it. Maybe we'll actually get a full song. And then when you relax enough, then she pounces and brings it in on you.
Yeah. And then oh man, when they when they brought in Donald Glover as or when you hear Glover talk for the first time as Simba, and even him singing Akuna Matata in his own way, I was like, damn, okay, totally agree with this casting. Whoever thought of Glover as Simba, even to add his voice to like Akuna Matata, oh man, that was genius. That was a good move,
Yeah,
man.
that was whoever came up with that was a dope move. That definitely sold a good portion of tickets because he is. I just finished Community, but he's had like he's just been out and about doing random things. He had This Is America. He had his new album is still coming out. Feels Like Summer, and then he had his like solo indie film with Rihanna called Guava Island, which reimagined both of those songs in like which I didn't even realize you could do right after you just dropped them.
Right, and the island. Is it a movie or is it a series
It's
he's
a
doing?
it was like a small 30-minute movie that they showed at Coachella, and then afterwards he was airdropping people pictures to
Oh,
get free shoes at like his Adidas brand booth that he had. So
okay, right. He has that, and he has that with Rihanna. Rihanna's in that with
yeah,
them co-starring,
she's like
and
his
then he
wife in the
has he
movie, and then it's like this. It's just this guy trying to throw a music
right.
festival in like this Caribbean island. It's actually pretty dope if you get like 30 minutes to sit down and watch it. I think you need I think it's Amazon
Yeah.
only.
No, I recommend it to everybody too.
Yeah, they had that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They
And
had
then
that going on. Beyonce dropped the whole album like the day the movie came out. That was actually pretty dope. Although half of it
yeah,
is just clips
no,
from the film.
and then he has Atlanta, the really
I
successful TV
cannot
show on
wait for
FX that
season
he
3. That
writes and
show has
directs,
so much replay value.
and he got
He
Emmys for it,
deserves it. Like
dude.
that. The what episode was it in? The Fubu episode. The Fubu episode makes me like happy and sad every time I watch it. Like it's hilarious the entire episode, and then the ending. There's no escaping how dark it gets. Just like that. Which I've seen that. I've been that
Exactly.
kid in school who's like, oh, you're close. I'm like pro tip, kids. If since we're talking about lions, if you don't give the bully the thrill of the hunt, they will get bored and leave you alone. Like I was that kid in high school, elementary school. You could pick on me, but if I didn't get the joke, it just became a meaningless conversation. And then everyone was bored. But then when they were just like, by
Right.
the way, your class committed
No,
suicide, I was like, oh. And then the one little asshole just snickers in the back. I'm like, there's always that one kid.
always, man, always. Writes, directs, produces the show, won Emmys for it, successful musician, artist, successful actor, especially in
Yeah, he
comedy
has a
series.
stand-up special.
Um, he's got the stand-up special. Is there anything this man cannot do,
I
bro?
don't know, but this weird route he's going of doing, just trying everything. I need him and like Tyler the Creator to have some kind of collab. I feel like they would just make some weird, some weird, crazy cult classic
Dope ass
together.
album.
It could be a TV show, movie, cartoon, song, something.
Absolutely.
We're being given the 5-minute
I would
warning.
definitely support that
Five
collab,
final
man.
thoughts and final score.
Okay, can't. Can you feel the love tonight? The duet by him and Beyonce. Wow, that hit close to home, better, much more than I thought it was. It was really, really well done. Better than I thought it was gonna be. I give the movie overall. The
Okay,
fight
the
scene
fight
was
scene,
great
that's
at
what I
the
wanted to get to.
end.
The fight scene was dope. I
Um,
thought it was going to be quick like the movie. The fact that
that
they
was
had
really
mounted up
dope.
like two armies
Nah,
going together and that we saw everyone getting involved, that was like my favorite, especially when Rafiki showed up because I didn't understand shit he said the whole movie.
Right. No, me neither. Exactly. And then Rafiki showed up with his staff, beating the crap out of people. Nala had her own beef with Shiva or
Shenzi, yeah,
whatever
they
her
gave
name
Shenzi
was.
way more character development.
Shenzi. Right. No, I. Everyone had their own beef. Everyone, Pomon, what did I keep saying it? Pumbaa and Timon and Pumbaa, like chipped in. I'm not afraid to run from predators, but I will
Yeah,
fight
I like
bullies.
Seth Rogen got his moment.
Oh man.
Billy Eichner doing. He didn't dress and drag and do the hula, but the Be Our Guest moment as the distraction.
I
I
thought
thought
they
they were
were
gonna
gonna
do the
do
whole
that, but you
song,
know
and then when
what?
I'm like, they're gonna cut it off, and I'm like, sure enough, that was hilarious to me. Although it was kind of weird to watch. They didn't just do the whole claw rip off the way Mufasa went. It kind of felt like
Yeah.
a pimp move, just like, and then he just fell. And then when him and the guy get it, lions don't really move like this. So when he was like beating on Sarabi and Simba's mom, it felt kind of weird to watch. But I'm like, okay, they're making it realistic because this is how lions actually fight. But Simba's entrance
Right.
and the
Yeah.
start to that
No.
fight scene was dope.
Yeah. No. That's what I'm saying. They did the research. Like the fight actually looked like you were watching like a National Geographic lion fight. You know what I'm saying? On like the Discovery Channel or
Yeah,
something.
like I loved that was like the movie itself was enjoyable, but the build up to that was honestly like one of the best parts. And then we actually saw Scar die this time. It wasn't just like the flames. You realize he actually goes down swinging at the hyenas.
Yeah, that's right. Satisfied at that death. So overall, my final thoughts, I give it like a 8.5, 9 out of 10. Really, only because the little things, man, such as the original, the original voice in the movie for Circle of Life, the original duet of Can't Feel the Love. It's just the little things for me, but it does do a really it does pay really good homage to the animated version. I give it 8.5, 9 out of 10. I definitely recommend for everybody to see it with or without kids. You'll still enjoy it. It doesn't even matter. What you think,
Nine and
Tafari?
a half. I will say my only gripes were I feel like whoever mixed and mastered the audio, I feel like you kind of. I feel like I feel like Rafiki got kind of shafted. Like I feel like I couldn't really understand his character. Billy Eichner was cool. Billy
Ever,
Eichner was
right?
cool. It just feels like him and Scar's characters kind of swapped or like their personalities. But overall, cult classic, lived up to the original. Disney has been hit for hit on these things. Mulan should be interesting since they're kind of taking a different toll with it and different route. 9.5. Take your kids, take your girlfriend, take family, go see it. I recommend it. What the hell is out right now?
Go see it by
Yeah,
yourself. Don't
anyone?
matter.
I said, what the hell is
What'd you
out
say?
right now? I was trying to think of something for next week, but I honestly have no idea.
I mean, there's that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Okay,
the
yes,
ninth
Quentin
film from
Tarantino. Can't
Tarantino.
can't
There's
skip
that.
Quentin.
That's the
Yeah,
episode
it's
for next
Quentin
week.
Tarantino.
Hell yeah! All right, guys, you heard it here first. The ninth film from Tarantino. He's only doing 10. You gotta tune in now because he's only doing one more. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching us. The Lion King live action, go see it. We recommend it. You'll feel the love. Hopefully, if you go with your girlfriend. If not, love yourself anyway. Um, but thanks again, guys. I'm your man Tony. This is my boy Tafari. Tune in next week for Once
60
Upon
minutes
a Time in
suspension up
Hollywood.
next.
Later.